Hello, everyone. I gotta really figure out like what second on my computer where it says live is actually recording. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it does not start at 00000. Because then like things are still loading and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it can't be. Anyways, welcome to the hopefully last part of the root trees are dead. We're very close to being done. Continue. Jeez. Why was that a thought that I had to have? Probably because, look, I went to a friend's house and I'm a few drinks deep. I'm not like drunk. I was able to drive home. They're very weak drinks. Um, but you know, might be a little silly brained, which honestly is why I'm playing this right now because sometimes you need to think of things a little differently to get those last pieces. Okay, we're pretty far along. Also, hold up. I saw there was like an achievement for getting everyone in a family group right, and I have this whole family group right, and I don't have the achievement, but I realize it's probably because of that. Yeah, I just need these last, well, 3 people, 1 person, 2 extras for that one. And this one, I mean, I guess those ones, but now hold up. Twins? Twins would have been a big deal back in the day, right? Right? Would twins? I mean, twins were pretty common. Well, not like common, but I'm just trying to think. Like, there's gotta be a picture of them probably together. I feel like between all these kids, I should have gotten these by now. Though I don't know what he went on to do after college. And I don't know if she's a student in college or graduated already, because that photo was a couple years ago, and he was graduating. But I don't know which one is older between these two. And I've tried searching them. It doesn't really work. And these two, I mean, what year were these photos taken? Not long enough ago. Yeah, 97, and it's 98 now, right? Where is the... it's hard to look through all of these pictures sometimes. There it is. No. Where's... Yeah, 98. Right? Which is when this game takes place, is December 6th, 1998-ish. So... they'd still be a baby. So that one's correct. It's gotta be. Right? If that was 2 years ago, they'd still be a baby because there's no option for like toddler, and they're not a student yet. You don't go to school till you're like 5, right? Elementary school's been a while for me. High school's been a while for me, so starting school has been too long for me. And I don't have kids. I don't know what age they start school, but I know it's around 5-ish. And if this baby was baby, which it appears to be, only, what was it, a year ago? 98 now, and that, yeah, 97. So, no, 96. Why can't I remember anything? 97, and it is 98. So that baby is still a baby. Maybe toddling around now, but still a baby. So that one is for sure correct. And then I know this one's correct. Because again, that photo was in 96, so that was only 2 years ago. So that kid is still K to 12. This guy, he's gone on to do something. Hmm. And I don't know if she was an older sister or a younger sister to him. And this campaign mailer is still the highest on the intuition ranking. And I mean, the only thing I haven't been able to really, I don't want to say connect to anything, because not everything connects to something, but is this, we don't see eye to eyes from CM. But like, I know who everyone is. It's just what is the, don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. Which is, that was her messaging him. Zach. They were killed in a drunk driving accident. This couple. By him. So there had to be an internal family conflict about that, but we don't have any evidence of that really, other than the lawsuit and the paperwork to do with such. Yeah, also, so this picture was taken, okay, it's 98 now. Where is it? There it is. 94. So that was only 4 years ago. So that one's correct. That's definitely still K to 12. So once I get one of these, but I don't know how to get that. I found them through his name. I just gotta find out what he ended up doing after school, or she ended up doing after school. One of them. I mean, it wouldn't be. No, okay, good. Or, what did he do? Was he like a car salesman or some stupid shit? What was the, okay, we're just gonna search his name again. Is it Steven Wilson? Right, pediatrician. He seems controlling, so we're gonna put in here doctor. No. No. Who would be a pediatrician's kid? No, I definitely know that's not it. Politics, police officer. What could he have gotten into? Picture of him on his website. Oops. Evidence. God damn it. I just keep going to the wrong ones over and over again. Where is his ad thing? Wasn't it an ad? Oh, there it is. Right. Pediatrician to the stars. Could his kid be an actor? No. I feel like if we just keep guessing at these, we'll get one of them. But I also don't like guessing at things. I also really don't want to know who that picture is of this man. I think there's a bird. to my fountain. Not a fountain, it's a bird bath. Come on, Papa. Come on, baby bird. I was gonna say come up to my bird feeder, but I've brought it in for the night because there's bears. Probably could have left it out another hour, but I'm sorry, bird. I'm an asshole. Okay, there's no one else missing a photo. I tried it in here and it didn't work, so it's gotta be Mr. Brother to him. Now this is also really weird because I'm hearing things outside. Because it was saying something about him having like an evil twin brother. And we know that somebody got mail to an Edward Clancy Jr. And there is an EC that worked at the farm. But I can't find anything about them because I searched. I used all of the search functions last time, didn't I? And if I didn't, I'm sure someone will comment about it. Please comment about it. Oh my god. Especially like if I don't finish this in this go. Because I'm going to post this to YouTube. Tell me. Give me hints. But not till the end of this, you know? I don't want there to be too many spoilers in the end. In case somebody else is looking. Okay, we don't have a lot of things that, like notable root trees, there's not actually a lot of information here. Other than searching each of them again. Which, yes, I'm gonna do that. That takes more time. So, this one's the biggest one. And again, the only thing... Okay, this was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. Okay, so he never got this. I mean, like, he got it, but he never read it. Or if he read it, it was just quick and he just went to the inbox. And there's a flyer about a candidate for local office. Because again, was this now? Oh, I guess, well, since on the family tree, there's no baby here. I'm guessing this is very recent. So we probably never had a chance to read it because he died. So, okay, so that doesn't matter. He received it probably before he passed and never got a chance to actually read it. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article. It's an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Okay, again, nothing. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family. We figured that one out already, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own, due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply love is our future. Now, like, where is she? Right, we already figured out unconventional, because that'd be a very confusing, crazy little thing. But it's all full of love, but that's not a clue, is it? Why is it still a 5? Love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company. Okay. Which, I feel like this is the important part. It has to be. This whole last paragraph has to be the important part. But if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. So, like, I mean, there's a lot of conflict in every generation, but that's her. Carolyn Morden. Don't let our conflict. Now, does she mean the conflict between everyone of that generation? Because this couple, was killed by Mr. Drunk Driver over here. Could that be the conflict? And he tried to have his brother removed from the trust because of said accident, but was unsuccessful. But what would Carl have to do with that? They are right to that generation. But no, that was Okay, so yeah, they do consider Gwen part of that generation. And then her boys are also not in the next photo. Yeah. Because they were in Paris. Couldn't make it to the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. So she didn't go to either. Also, I bet there's that guy that does GeoGuessr. He can find out where they took this photo. If it is indeed a real place. That'd be cool. He should find that. Couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. And we've figured them out. I feel like November could be, which, like, I'm not even 100% sure on this. I'm, like, pretty sure, because if you look at the picture, on the back of the photo in childish print writing, it says November. Right? And we already have the rest of these accounted for in the other photos, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. And in childish print writing, it says November, and she is the baby of this photo, so that has to be November. Right? Right? So, but to figure out, because I mean, maybe we just start kind of, oh, maybe she's a lawyer after her father and grandfather. No. Huh? No. Okay, you know what? I know this is kind of cheating to just go through, but I really don't want to, ooh. He's a cashier. Maybe she's a cashier. One of them has to be a cashier, right? Why would they put it in here otherwise? Because, like, I'm 95 to 98% sure those two are correct. And this one. And I need 4 to do a check. So if I just kind of go through these, because I've tried looking her up. I've tried looking up other things. And it does say you have to use elimination sometimes. And you know what? This probably isn't the elimination they meant. But it's elimination. And that is still assuming I have the other ones correct. Which I'm like, again, like 98% sure of. I skipped lawyer right there because we already did it earlier. If anybody's really paying attention. Oops, I scrolled in the wrong place. Come on. Who do I have wrong? Okay, that means that one of the other three are wrong. Could he be not a student yet? Could he be still just baby? No, he's definitely in at least kindergarten. 2 years after this photo? Oh my god, I'm gonna go crazy. I haven't used a hint yet in this game, and I don't want to. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it without one. Especially, like, I don't have any new pictures for this. And I've tried looking up all of these different people. I've tried looking even up all of the different little names. I'm gonna have to use a fucking hint. I don't want to use a hint. Ah! But if I can't lock down one of these assholes. Ugh. If this didn't do it. One of these three has to be wrong then. Because I went through every single one with her. And I'm like 98% sure that's her. Right? Because that would... Oh, no, maybe. Oh, maybe she's over here. Maybe this is November. This is April. That could be it. Let's go through all of these again, I guess. That would make sense, because this whole family was younger by quite a bit. Definitely not a baby. I don't know why she ended up there in the first place on the other side. Maybe she was a placeholder at first. Like, I knew she also could have been over here. I'm sure if you're watching all of these episodes back to back, I don't think anyone does that. Well, with my videos, you'd know immediately. Please, please let this be the one where... Boop. Oh, not a mechanic after her maybe father. Maybe. Musician. Just... Give me this one. Oh no, this was the same photo. No, we're still gonna try it. She's gotta go somewhere. I mean, I guess technically she still could be this kid. Damn it. Okay. There might have been a reason I put her there. I don't remember. Okay. What else are we missing? So there should be one name of a root tree. Christina. Did we look her up? Was it K? Christina. Okay. Oops. Oops. No. Okay, it says the notable root trees list is still pretty... So it's rolling on down to the city. Clark and names. The biggest complaint I got is about names. Uncle Junior, Miracles Eli, or Eli C. I already know where all of those go. Uncle Junior. Miracles Eli. or Eli C, which technically has not been plugged in. Well, you know what? Let's go through his. I know he goes here as a person. So let's just kind of... Oh, did a baby. I hate doing this. I'd rather just know. But I've been looking and looking and fracking looking. Oops. But now that these have to be correct. Those two and that one. They're too young to be anything else, right? Right. So, if we just keep going through these, maybe one of them will plug in and it'll be correct. Okay, do we have all the presidents in first, second, right? Third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so it can't be one of the presidents. Come on. What do I have wrong? It's probably these two have to be switched. But still, this one, he's definitely the right. Is it? Oh, I have them backwards. Oldest is on the left, youngest is on the right. It's because I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is Jason. This is maybe Jim. I don't know which order those two go in. I don't know. Let's call it that. This is the little guy. And then I don't know which order those go in. Oh my god, youngest is on the right. Of course, because I did it correctly here. Right? Youngest on the right. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, and we don't know what. Huh? No. Okay. But we do know he's going to be in there. Okay. Those two are there. We just need a fourth. So we're going to take him through all of them again. Now that we're 99% sure, we've got three other ones that are correct. I'm pretty sure. I don't actually know. I know there's probably some, like, clue for him. But you know what? Sometimes we just want to do things the easy way. Even though it's kind of harder in the short term. It's going to take a lot less time. If I can click properly every time. So many jobs. Oops. College. Fuck. So then what of the other ones are wrong? He can't be wrong. He's the youngest. He's gotta be in school 2 years after this photo. These two have got to be correct. Like, there's no way in the, like, year 2, 4 even, maybe, since this photo was taken, he's gotten to college. No. We're gonna have to use a hint. And I don't want to. The Watchman of the Year article mentioned. Didn't I get that though? Because that was. Business Watch Magazine. Didn't I get that on here? Business Watch Magazine. Every year. So. $36 and $87 for Carl. So that would be him. And then Carl. So how does that frockin' help me? Okay, so I guess. Can we add in. Oh, because I'm an idiot. What was the other one? And 19. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's go forward. And. Wow. Oh. For his work with Root. Okay. That's stupid that I didn't see that the first time. I thought that I did search for them, but I didn't search for the exact year. Which is fine. Okay. So we got, oh, wow. What a handsome man, a dapper man. So we can throw his extra photo on here. Ooh, a dapper, handsome man. Let's read it. Okay. 1908, Elias forms the Root Tree Candy Company after marrying his wife. During the period before Five Pieces, the company is barely profitable. 1909, Elias has a daughter. You mean his wife had a daughter. The first of 5 children, 4 more to follow, leading to 1922. Elias invents 5 pieces. Each of the 5 flavors is chosen based on the initials of his 5 children, 1 flavor per child. 1924, 5 pieces are first sold in some Pittsburgh markets. 5 pieces are rolled out to all of New England. The new recipe and flavor is finalized and the candy begins. Nationwide distribution. The Root Tree Candy Company purchases blah blah blah. With the help of his son, Elias Root Tree Jr.'s architecture firm. I already knew that information, right? Elias Jr. Architect, yes. Oops. Production is tripled. Blah 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 blah. There's also a what's next sub company. Clancy Trust. Okay. Useless now. Bam. We got another Carl photo. Shoot the whoop. Right up there. Yeah. Oop. That's what I want. You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, 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 honey. You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, 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 honey. Carl Roottree was voted Watchman of the Year. Ba 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 ba. Ah. Oh, right, the clothing company, Root. Before they married, Carl's wife, Brenda, was a fashion consultant. When Rena was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Rena's new clothes were a hit with the other parents. Including Carl's cousin, Jim Roottree, a notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Rena. Word spread. Wait. Hold on a second. Okay, no, that was when they were married. Okay. Okay, so they're about the same age. Okay, that makes sense so far. By 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of the Root Tree at the time, spearheaded Root. Oh, sorry. Other blood relatives who have a say in the company's finances refuse to fund anything other than candy. So Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment, and now Root Dot exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. Per tradition, or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became the catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and the ensuing payoff. This doesn't help me. None of that has helped me. I mean, other than those extra photos. But it hasn't helped me figure out, like, what are you doing, bud? What's going on here? Why did these, like, if none of the professions worked with him, unless I got something else wrong, which I don't think I did, then that means I'm wrong about one of these kids. We have to use a hint again, and I'm really upset about it because, like, they have to be right. These two have to be, like, yeah, like, this is all correct, this family. And then I'm like 99% sure that he's correct. So then, like, I should have, through trial and error, been able to get, you know, we're going to try it. So maybe there's something weird going on with the other ones. Okay. We're going to try it with him. We're just going to start going through. Because, again, now I'm pretty sure of the other 3 kids. So we're just going to... Not baby. You know what? Just in case. We're going to throw baby on there. But also, he could be the oldest. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to move him to oldest position and do it again. Which is stupid. I should be able to just find it. But, like... I have Googled or spider searched or whatever you want to call it. So many things to do with these people. And I don't know what else I could do. Oops. Oops. Manufacturing. Mechanic. Oops. Come on. Because then if I can lock in some of the other things that I've done, maybe it'll help me. No. So now we're going to move him over here. We're going to switch Jam and Zach. And try again. I don't like doing this. It's a terrible way of finding things out. But, you know, I get it. Sometimes this is what you have to do. I already hate that I had to use one hint for something that I really should have gotten at the beginning. Oops. And for things that didn't help me, really. They just got me, like, extra pictures. Come on. Because then it means one of the kids is wrong. Which, I don't know what that means. Oops, I guess none of those. He won't be any of the presidents, me don't thinks. Well, I mean, maybe now. so that means one of the kids is wrong. But I don't know how that could be. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to use another hint. Because I still even looking at, I've looked at this campaign mailer and these two and this so many times. We're gonna use a hint. I hate it. I hate using hints. One of Brian Jones's business clients had a relevant name. That's Stephanie Jones's. So that's why the mailer. So let's look up. What did I find about him? Oh, right, because it was... Right. Right, the print company. Which I did look into the print company. Their coupons. I don't know how this is going to help, but... Or searches online. I designed the website myself. So it's Jones Graphic and Print. They're all ones. Right? One of had a relevant name. All of them do. Go to ROOTTREE Motors. That's it. They may be featured other places. ROOTTREE Motors in here. Oops. There we go. Used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for ROOTTREE Motors. Why is it? Can you? Oh, you guys can see that. I was watching Markiplier play the new Five Nights at Freddy's before streaming. Ugh, I bet they're not the best viewers. Fucking prove it. Prove you have the best viewers for sale. mm. Okay. Not have evidence. New evidence. It says 3. Bam. Wilkins Motors is now ROOTTREE Motors. Okay, where was Wilkins? Oops. Because he's a mechanic. The Wilkins. No, that's Wilson. So wait, Wilkins. So he was with Catherine Wilkins. We have a new name, but we promise we're still the same family business. All that's different is we've joined a sweeter family. Funny noises, need new oil, coming down, we'll fix her up. Take the I-72. Why is there? Oh, okay, cool. ROOTTREE Motors, your local family mechanic servicing the entire Pittsburgh area. Funny noises, blah, blah, blah. Tessa ROOTTREE, our newest fixer, learned all there is to know. Okay, so I did have November in the right place. Because this is her, and that's Tessa ROOTTREE, which makes sense that this one is Wait, November? This one can't be November. Which one else were we missing though? Christina. That's the one. So then November does go here. Okay, I was right. Pepe. And she is Mechanique. Yes! Damn! Cool. Yeah. Boo fucking yeah. Okay. That name I haven't done. Helen Lennon. Not here. I'm guessing April goes here. I mean, it would make sense that November belongs with April. Okay, those two, I just have to figure out their professions. Gotta find the extra pictures for those two. Could I, Hudson twins. Twins? Could it be under, no. Okay, well. Still have to figure out Elias. Okay, so this one, put that as Helen Lennon. And this one as Joan Monroe. And November goes there. This is tough. Peter Janowicz from MMM. Which is right. Oops. God. You know what? Where did I see it? Just gonna copy paste it. Peter Janowicz. It's the rolling on. No, we're just gonna put. No. Did it say when he wrote the article? What year would that have been? So 1979. Is this the article that quote came from? Okay, maybe he'll talk about his father. Sorry. Oh my. Ugh. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C and J and J and D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had a sort of cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark and her youngest sister, everything exploded. Right, that's where we found that out. Where we know now that Clark ended up with Kim LaRue down the road. Yeah. Woof. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music. But even then, we never agreed. Right, that's how we found out that he was a jingle man. Hmm. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For the most of the decade, he was a mess. But he's a lot happier now. He started Raffertons, also blah 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 blah. But I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Says a different focus than you, baby. That doesn't tell me shit. I need to know about here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the last 4. Patricia Jones. Ah. We're gonna look them all up in the periodicals. No. Bonnie Hudson. Ah. Stupid. And the things that it's telling me to look at are even stupider. Like, I don't... Name. Right, that's about how everyone's name is the same. And that's talking about, naming conventions. Which, I mean... Okay, we know those are the Wilsons, so those names are not. But we also, I mean, those two could be in either order. And that makes sense to go with that name. Tessa. It's weird that Tessa ended up here, but her name is Tessa. So really, this clue is giving me fucking nothing. And then this, like, this gives me information about the hidden brother here. Know what I mean? It does not give me information on anything else. I don't want to use another fucking hint. Like, we've made it so far, but I also feel like I've exhausted a lot of my resources. Like, unless I figure out what all these last 4 do for jobs, kind of stuck. And, like, I Gwyneth Carolyn, who was Elias' mother. Gwendolyn. Gwyneth. And then Carolyn was her mother. But, like, that doesn't matter. We're not putting those in here. I'm gonna have to use a fucking hint. I don't want to use a fucking hint. The name of Jim's father. But didn't we... Jim's... Oh! Jim's father. Eli in town. All of the Elis. Grandpa Elias was a believer. But I already know that. Is there a different gym? Like, it literally can't be anyone else. Edward Clancy Root Tree. I had to break the news. There is no Edward Clancy Root Tree. This is Elias Clancy Root Tree. Unless he is unknown male. Because that's the only gym, right? Is James there? So... Edward Clancy Root Tree. But it's my father's name backwards, which was Clancy Edward Root Tree, right? But they're not giving me an Edward Clancy, so we're still going to put him as Elias C. Because it's the... Okay, maybe it's the other one. Clark. Reading this back, I get deja vu as I write this. Addendum Clark's gotten married again. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill. Okay. And Lord knows Eli C. helped. Yeah, like I've got... I need his career. I need his job. I'm turning into the little goblin in the back of my brain that is usually the problem child. Eli C. practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. We know that. Eli C. Cool. What the fuck did he do with a job? Eli's marriage seemed fine. And Jim's... Yeah, okay. But... Like... I already have that information. I know, though. I know the name. I don't need the name. I need... What did he fucking do for work? What did he do for work? I need to know his job. Great. Thanks. I'll do it. I will follow this hint. Where's the next generation? To find out which one is Eli C. I got it already. It's his fucking job. Okay, we need a periodical article. But someone closely related to him. Okay, so it's gonna be probably in this. Someone closely related. Let's just start with... No. Let's try Lauren. Okay, right, this is where we found out her married name. The reviewer gives it a 4 out of 5 and claims it captures the blah 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 blah. The writer of the review mentions that because the majority of the interaction in the book took place in Butler County, including many of the locations they personally recognized, it made everything feel more real and perhaps contributed to a higher score than it would have received otherwise. Ooh, hold up a second. Didn't realize how hot my ears were until I took off one of my headphones. Don't forget, you can find this in many other books in your local library. So it doesn't. Not this one. Clancy Jr. Nope. Edford. Nope. It's gotta be. Sorry. Jim Roottree seems to have left Butler County by the time Jim and Diamond gained notoriety. Nope. Um. Which it said it was on one of these. Huh. Back. 1979, but like. No. So why is it? Rolling down, setting peak popularity. There isn't much to the article other than what you already know, but it does mention that at the time Jim and Diamond had a 2-year-old daughter named Candy. The writer of the article did not seem thrilled to report this fact and called the name a bit too on the nose. Yeah, no shit. That does not help me. What is his profession? And hers. And honestly, these two. The fuck? Okay, let's try Diamond. I guess. Ah! Oh yeah, no, this is about the LaRue sisters. Well, back when they were credited as the blah 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 blah. Diamond and Jane have been blah 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 blah. Kim stepped into a role on Broadway, taking over for one of the children in Oliver. The Lucky LaRue's indeed. Okay, cool. But what? Their great uncle's record label. Okay, that doesn't. I'm gonna have to use a fucking hint again. Cause I don't. Who? I did! And it gives me that other fucking one. Okay, a review, an interview from 1979 titled "A Reluctant Hit Maker, Jim Goes Into His First Band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in blah 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 with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. Okay, look, we know that. I just need to know what he did for work. The only thing we ever had in common was music, but even then, we never agreed what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I have been told Roland is like that, but it wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. It's also how my father was connected to the root tree. All of his old ad campaigns. So he's in advertising, but I swear. Right, because that was from Jim. Right? Okay, cool. That helps me with that, but also I can't lock it in until I figure out these children. Great. Guy Hudson, he's... Guy Hudson. Mentioned something from his childhood. Business Watch. Guy Hudson. Along with his twin sister are no strangers to the public when it comes to root tree snacks. They both appeared. Boys and girls agree era. Guy taking over at the end of the year. Who would have known that one of these two adorable redheads, Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher, with providing his fiery dew, arguing over everything but chocolate would grow to take over the whole company. Guy's uncle and President Zachariah has decided. Zach has decided to take an early retirement. Zach was quoted saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Claire and I plan to reflect on a life well lived." Guy is new to the business world, but he's family. We at Retrieve. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we need to look at. There we go. That's where we get the other picture of the twins. Mother flip. Ugh. Boys and girls agree. It's a series of television and magazine ads for a root tree chocolate bars. The ad campaign is described as having the premise that boys and girls are often diametrically opposed, except when it comes to one thing. Both of them agree that root tree is their favorite. The first advertisement in the series was the most memorable due to the bright red hair of the boy and girl involved. One of the magazine advertisements has been added to your evidence. Thank you. Now I have my other pictures of these children. Great. Little girl. Little boy. That still doesn't actually help me lock in anything of real importance. Which is kind of sad for me right now because I like locking things in. And that means I'm going to have to get another hint because the hints so far have been for extra shit. Like, you get me rolling on who these kids are, I'll be good. You have enough information to place Jason Wilson's siblings. Well, you would think so. But, like he says, his older brother and his sister. His sister's clearly not younger than him. So I'm confused how it's supposed to tell me that which order those two go in. You know what I mean? Right? Like he would me, my big brother, or my sister. That doesn't tell me anything. Else it doesn't tell me what grade they're in, or if they're still in school. Like, I mean, I can assume she's still in school, and he's in college. I was hoping that would lock in. But I don't know which order they go in. I also don't know what the fuck November is doing. So we gotta use another Stupid ass. Jones, graphic and prints website mentioned. Another organization that's worth looking into. I swear I looked at them all. Because all of them were connected to the root trees, so I'd already gone through them. Jones, graphic and print. I've already seen those mailers. Various banners and posters. Holiday light post banners. Miracle Network tour flyers. No, I've already done the Miracle Family. Root Tree Motors. Like, there's this. Maybe just looking up Butler Summer Theater. The Butler Summer Theater performs playtime musicals during the summer. Makes sense. As it is not summer currently, their website has a thank you message. Stay tuned, blah blah. The website credits. That's the credits of a musical. Oh, choreography by November Studios. So November Studios is gonna be November. Okay, well then we're gonna go, oops, into here. And do. Was that, oh. Just gonna do a quick copy paste just to make sure. Yeah, I did spell it all right. Instead of November Studios, maybe they should have called this place No Mention Studios. That's mean. Oh my god. We did that. Okay, it's mean that that's what comes up. I want to see the advertisements then, I guess. Well, we can guess she's a dancer or a teacher. Oh, there it is, dancer. Ha! Yes! That was a difficult one. And yes, I did have to use hints, but fuck off. Jesus fucking Christ. Take it away. Give me that top secret
my
info.
genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives.
Sure did.
Congratulations. I knew you could do it.
Of course I could.
There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish.
Of course I'll do them.
However, this will end your search and reveal the truth.
Shut up. It's... And this is... What was it? Clancy... No. Edward Clancy, right. Okay, what else did we lock in? Was it everything? Is everything else locked in? Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, it is. Because we're so fucking good. Okay, wait. I gotta go back. It's in... Is this revisiting? Good. Oh, yeah, it doesn't actually tell me. Okay. Sam. I want to see... Okay, so we know it's Mr. Miller. If I go back to the original book... Okay. Sam. And it's down here. John Miller. John Miller, Edward Clancy, Root Tree. Okay. I think I'm ready with that, right? Because it was the opposite of this. It's Edward Clancy Root Tree and John Miller. Okay, we're gonna lock it in. Oof. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that, because I've known that long before I figured out who the rest of these kids were. Jesus. Okay. Oh, God, it's gonna... Is it good? Are we done? Is it done? Are we done? Yeah, well, there were none. But did I get the extras? I hate when it does that, because my front door is right here. It always
So,
makes me
you
feel
thought
like...
EC was Edward Clancy Roottree, and his partner was John Miller?
The fact that your voice actor has said those names in such a sentence is yes.
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Ah, yes. Okay.
I'm Sam Madsen, though
knew
you
it.
know me as Samantha Roottree.
I knew it.
Yep, I got old.
No shit.
The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago.
I figured.
My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller. By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser.
I would hope nobody could guess that.
Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning.
No, we could all pretty much guess.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin, Clancy, and his father, Elias, were not. At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed.
That's why they
Having
say
one
they
in the
didn't.
family was unthinkable.
Heaven forbid.
The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
Egg cream. Right. I forgot. See, that's something I should have paid a little more attention to. But, because I remember there being EC for egg cream, right? And now they took away the EC. I get it.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family.
Mm-hmm.
But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Right, because they were twins, the dads.
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Mm-hmm. Although, honestly, when you're a kid, beard versus no beard, I remember my dad had a mustache, and he shaved his mustache one year, and I think he did it like every year in the summer. Or was it his beard? God, but he came out after doing it, and it was like the first time that like I have living memory of him doing it, and I did not recognize him. I screamed and I ran the other way. So, I don't know.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background, the 6th 5-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom from a life she deemed unworthy. Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the Five Pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president. But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real root tree. He nearly ruined the company.
Yeah, there's new
When
flavors.
Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions.
Fuck yeah.
Ernie earned about $36. They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point.
Yeah, that's, especially if they weren't part of the trust.
Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry. Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock.
Yep.
That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart.
Yep.
My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the trust, as anyone else.
They are blood relatives.
The Clancid Trust will secure their future.
Whether
they can
out
decide
of
what
wedlock
to do with their
or
shares. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future.
IRL and in-game.
So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light.
Good.
And when it does,
my
share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life.
Baby.
Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete.
Nice.
Unless a whole lot more root trees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time. Thanks again, and so long.
I should let her stop speaking, I'm sorry. So long, lady. On down to the city. Ba ba ba. Ba da da ba da ba da da. The Root Tree family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Fuck yeah, Root Tree Mania is now unlocked as a new game. Okay, I thought this was gonna be last part, but like, I forgot there's Root Tree Mania. Oh no, I'm a secret Root Tree. Oh, that's not gonna be good. Do I go to new game? Ah, yes. Find out what happens to the infamous family and a whole new mystery. And it's free? Yeah, I've fucking done it. Let's do save slot 2 for this one, just in case. Motherfuck! That's cool. Oh, there is a lot more. Shut up. Hopefully I won't have to use any hints this time.
Hi, I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
Wait, which one was Clark? Didn't he die?
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes,
Aren't you dead, sir? Wait, Clark.
I never wanted
to be
president. I'm not great with stress.
He's the new president.
With my mother's deteriorating
Sorry, I have a bathing suit on under this because I was going to go swimming and then I didn't. I'm upset about it, so Hold on a second. I'm gonna hit next, and I'm gonna go change a bit, not a full change, just enough to give my belly to
I'm sorry, I'm
be
rambling.
comfy.
I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork.
Of course they're coming out of the woodwork. What do you expect to happen? Oh, this top has a crisscross back, and that doesn't help me get it off easy. Oh my god, I hate this. I thought this was going to be really quick, but hold up. I actually have to take my freaking arms out separate and then pull it over all of my shirts. Well, my one shirt, but it's over more layers than I wanted it to be, okay? This should have just clip, come off. But no, I gotta pull it the frick. Well, I like that rain sound. Yeah, at least it's got a nice, realistic rain tone to it. This could be worse. This could be a far worse thing to be stuck on. Please stay with me. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. Don't go. I'm right over here. I don't know if the camera can see my little face popping out of my bedroom window. But I'm coming. Okay. I'm a coming. Oh, you don't get any view of my bedroom window from there.
Now that it's public knowledge that Clancy Trust covers any root tree despite their history with us,
Oh, God, no.
a lot of potential cousins have surfaced.
Potential cousins? I feel like there's really only, like, real cousins. Oh, I want one of the watermelon ones. Where are you, watermelon? There you are. I see green. Yes, I'm gonna grab a couple of muffins, because I be hungry. Ah, that nice raininess, you know? A nice goodness to the rain.
You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. That was a disaster for us.
That sucks.
And then Miracle went and made it all about himself.
Could have told you that was going to happen.
The long and short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them. But she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family.
Well, seeing as how you guys weren't really family to her for a really long time.
I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in.
Why?
It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally.
Sure.
Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this.
Of course.
To each their own.
Don't make fun of me for liking this. This is your game. Okay, notable events. 6 pieces, the Root Tree Rift, Clark Rafferty LaRue. 5 P's. Yo. Root Tree Mania, and Anonymom. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It's been a year. It's been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The Root Trees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release. Though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online, which I will. 6 pieces. Sam Madsen's book about Elias Root Tree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. The Root Tree Rift. In March, the Root Tree Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release. With multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Yeah, they're fizzy. With multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Not good. Don't have conflicting press releases. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and welcomed Sam Madsen into the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. 5 Ps. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5Ps as a publicity move at the same time. 5Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Root Tree Mania. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Root Tree publicly and vehemently denied that 5Ps was a root tree, which to me states that it probably is a root tree. He, they, she, it, whatever. The Root Tree's legal team offered to do a DNA test to get 5Ps to drop his claim in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm. The test proved he was a root tree. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the root trees. That makes sense. Anana Mom and Jane Doe root tree. Oh, this is where we find the there's achievements about finding like different affairs, and I was like, I have found nothing, but this makes sense. In July, an anonymous woman who the press began to refer to as Anonymom appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a root tree led to the birth of her daughter. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. She claimed that an affair with a root tree led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Root Tree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret root tree, and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy Trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Root Tree Mania saga. As more and more of the Anonymom story came out, people began to notice how much of it echoed 5Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicion. The DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, I'm guessing these are all people of color. Especially with November being in there, but also not super. Anyways, proved that her daughter was not a root tree. The final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusation of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempted fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Root Tree Mania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. What is this, 2020? Okay, cool. Previously on The Root Trees Are Dead. Well, we just did it. The Root Tree Candy Company, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's all stuff that, like, we can come back to this if we need to, but we know. And this is a lovely continuation of The Door. Okay. Look back at this if we would like. First. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Okay. Possible infidelity number 1. Number 2. Oh. Shut up. That's a lot of affairs for one person. Yikes. Unknown. So who's... Oh, so wait, so green means original tree. So original tree. So an affair happened between some in-laws or some, cousins through marriage. Okay. Oh, Lord. Oh, I do love this. I love this. I love me some mysteries and filling in the blanks. This is. I'm so glad there's a whole extra mystery and I didn't have to pay for it. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I got some deluxe edition and paid for it already, or if it just comes free with the regular edition. I don't remember. I bought one. Went, this will be good for streaming. What's that? It's the best lighting of the night. Still not light enough things are visible, but it's dark. I love it. It's the best shade of night. And you know why? That's because when you were a kid, it was like the time of night where when you were allowed to go out at this time of night, it was like the coolest thing in the world. You know, when you were out at this time of night, it's because you were like camping or because like there was a long weekend or some event, you know, where like you knew it got darker, but this was about as dark as you saw when you were a kid, you know. Okay. Start searching up these notable events. Let's start with 6 pieces. This is hilarious, but at the same time, okay, I guess 8 months has passed. It's gonna be like, I was just on the internet. We good? Picks pop. Oh, right, that was that thing. Okay, we're gonna do it the easy way every time with highlighting. Oops, I didn't want to highlight. I know it just said with highlighting, but it was search. 6 pieces, Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madsen was released in early 1999 and perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash shot at the top of the charts. Oh, and perhaps assisted by those shot. Oh, it's just me. Top of the charts. Oh. I can do that tomorrow. It's fine. Sorry. Reviews were mixed, and its time on the bestsellers list was limited to only 2 months. Most reviewers agreed that the core of the book, about Samantha's fathers and the struggles they faced, was compelling, and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottree was deserved. Yeah. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. Look, I get that, but you really think that wasn't already in the works when that plane crash happened? Come on. The fallout from the book led to the Roottree Company scrambling to release a statement, and due to a conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. I want to hear those statements, so we will be trying to find those if we can. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture due to a late-night sketch about indecisionitis, but more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottree Rift. So we'll have to look up both. A few months later, due to Roottree mania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. So we're going to look up indecisionitis first. Indecisionitis was a disease coined by a popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for Get Together. While the segment isn't fully about the Roottree Candy Company, was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen, and references the recent news. Yeah. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-thru speaker, and then after pulling forward, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch it to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance amongst the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she pulled away, as the employee began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant and passed the current line, loudly complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. I don't get why that's like a sketch. And you know what? It's fine. Sometimes they don't sound great when you're just telling them. After this, the sketch transitioned from the restaurant scene into a pharmaceutical commercial. A doctor claims that the woman was suffering from indecisionitis, a disease that causes extreme confusion and irritability. This has recently been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. The doctor then recommends Get Together. Is this supposed to be Get Together? Oh, Get Together. I get it. A fake pharmaceutical drug. Oh, I'm dying. Multiple testimonials use variations of the catchphrase. When I can't make my tough decisions, I've got to get my jit together. Haha. Why am I suddenly so burpy? Hang on. I gotta burp myself like a baby. Yes, I'm holding my boobs in place. God damn it, they're in there. The doctor then recommends Jit Together as a fake pharmaceutical drug. Multiple testimonials use variations of the Oh yeah, I just read that part. My bad. The final testimonial included a bald man in silhouette with a voice changer saying, I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I am comfortable saying that before I took over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my jit together. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that really gives us a whole lot to go off of. Just that it was funny. Okay. The Root Tree Rift. The 3 press releases from the Root Tree Candy Company after the release of 6 pieces. Sorry. Were referred to as the Root Tree Rift due to the clear conflict between them. The first was fairly standard. It stated that there was no president of the Root Tree Company, but that the entire family was made aware of the release of the book and that they would be meeting as soon as possible. There is a president. Oh no, I guess at the time there was no president. Okay, that's okay. Only then could they verify the legitimacy of the claims it raised and decide next steps. That one makes sense. Okay. The second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later. I don't like people that are bad at press. You don't do another one 3 hours later. You figure your shit out first. They announced that after a vote, if it's only going to take 3 hours to vote for a new interim president, do that first and then give your press release. Sorry. After a vote, Ron Roottree would be taking over temporarily as an interim president. It also went on to state that Ron was made aware of the book, had verified the claims within, and would look into compensating Mrs. Madsen and her family immediately. Sure. It also stated that company lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Clancy Trust's terms to make sure nothing like this could happen again, which is crazy. Because he's the one, right? It was Ron Roottree, right? That tried to get Rob Roottree removed from the Clancy Trust for committing a crime against another Roottree and myrtleizing Guy and Patricia Hudson. Right? So him trying to close up some loopholes. Very because not only would that cut him out for being born out of wedlock, it would cut I think they were still married when that kid was born, but it would cut this whole family out. It. I feel like there's more it would cut out. It would include this person, right? Right. So you'd have to posthumously like include him, which then all of his money would probably go to her, only assuming that they did not adopt another kid or something. You know, you never know. Oh, another new picture thing for him. Oh, there's another new picture thing for Clark. No, they don't. I thought maybe him being at the door gave me a new picture. New picture for Zach. It's probably a picture like the president's somewhere. Okay. Third one. It was quickly clear to business reporters and analysts that the time between the two press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather a majority of the family, even using conference calls. First off, crazy, because if they were already on alert because of everything else that was happening, they absolutely could have been. But you know, yeah. This was reported on many news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day, claimed that a draft of the announcement was made prematurely and that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. It also stated that any compensation plan would be based on a stringent verification process. Okay. I'm gonna guess Clark is one of these treers. You know what I mean? Clark's in here somewhere. I mean, look, he was already kind of fucking weird with all this shit going on. And I still feel like he's got to be part of the list. Like, it's probably him here. Actually, 75 to 82. We got a 1921 infidelity. So we're talking this generation. So one of them was Fidelius. 49. So then we're probably looking at someone in this generation. Probably Zach. Right? Then we're looking at someone in this generation. This one is probably Clark. And then someone in the newest generation. So then we're looking at, her, maybe her. Oof, maybe them. Maybe someone over here. I don't know. This is fun. Okay, Clark. Oops, I guess. Clark Rafferty LaRue was the new president of the Roottree Corporation. This does not include Root, which appears to have its own new leadership. In early March 1999, about 5 months ago, it was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree would be taking over for what was essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of Six Pieces. About 2 weeks later, the company released a press statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. Okay, so there was the first three, and then this one. Did this have a stripe in it before? Muffin wrapper has a stripe in it, and I don't think it had it when it went into the oven. Also sticking to my muffin a lot. These were terrible. Terrible muffin wrappers. This did not have a white stripe in it when it went into the oven. They were rainbow. I love them. I made sure when we packed the muffins for people that everybody got like the rainbow colors. But now I'm like, god damn, these fucking wrappers are shitty. Thankfully, they didn't come from my own kitchen, but the community kitchen, so no one's gonna be like, you own shitty things. Oh. I wash my hands with this when you rinse something, you know what I mean? Nom nom. Tomorrow's the longest day of the year. Which means I'm gonna go outside and be out there until it is completely pitch black. Like it's already. It's 9:50. Ooh, I got a text. Okay. Most of the information about Clark you knew already. Many descriptions of him tend to focus on his advertising career and that his mother was Lauren Roottree. A few seem to touch on his complex and volatile marital history. Since taking over, Clark has tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray into the public eye. He gained lots of support. His first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and her family into the trust. Good move for the company, honestly. Because if you didn't, that'd be crazy. This also served as an announcement that the Clancy Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family, since due to their financial motivation, none of them could ever be impartial. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Okay, now let's find out about 5Ps. 5Ps. AKA Felix Fellows. Oh, Fellows! Wait, hang on. We knew that there was a Fellows. Where was a Fellows? Did we not see there was a Fellows for sure? I don't remember if it was, but I remember being like, how do I pronounce that? Is it Fellows or Fellowes? Because there's an E at the end. Or not at the end. You know what I mean. Fellows. Where did we see Mr. Fellows? Maybe she was one of the, Fellows, though, we know that that was one of the names. Okay, so we're gonna highlight that and search it later. Get out of here. It's a rapper who has found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost root tree and entitled to part of their fortune. His alias 5Ps is a play on 5 pieces. No shit. An article you find on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music gives his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason. With the headline, More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. The review mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty Davey. David Fellows. Hello, Mr. Spider. There's a cellar spider up there. He big. And the other ruse the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. Apparently, only one of the songs on his album is new, and the others are simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. Right. Right. And somewhere over here, I saw Fellows, I think. At first, the Root Tree Company denied it vehemently. Miracle Root Tree even appeared on the same magazine a week later. But since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to their family. Their press release at the time stated that they had new evidence that confirmed his story. So it was Guy Hudson. Probably. Okay, we're going to look up Dirty Davy. According to his fan sites, Felix Fellows is not 5P's actual name. His birth name was David Fellows. Dirty Davy. Dirty Davy was 5P's previous stage name. He used to sell records and perform live shows in Portland under that name. There are some people selling his old mixtapes on auction sites. One is apparently called Dirty Devil and another Dirt Poor. Well, first we're going to search this. According to fan sites, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nice. Dirty Devil. Like, I can't say dirty spelled like that without saying it like, dirty. Dirty Devil. Was 5P's first mixtape. Released as Dirty Davy from the early 90s. There's discrepancies and debates about what year exactly it was released based on some of the pop culture references, with the range thought to be somewhere between 92 and 94. One of the songs, Yes, I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fan sites claim that there are multiple versions with different track lists and song lengths on them. Though because there's very little evidence of the mixtape online as it is, it's even harder to verify that information. Yeah, we're gonna look that up. It seems the only song that didn't make it into his studio album people thought should have. In it, he references a popular movie from '92 called White Men Can't Jump. This reference has caused some confusion amongst the fan base. Because of it, it is agreed upon that the mixtape had to have come out in '92 at the earliest. But others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. This would have been in '94. Some take this to mean that the album had to have been released in '94 at the earliest. So he was born if 94 was his 17th, 13 and 90, which means 77. He was born in 77. Some take this to mean that the album had to have been released in '94 at the earliest. Others claim that he was likely just trying to make himself sound older, since in response to some of the most questionable lyrics, he stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. No matter which year that came out, he was still a dumb kid. Okay. Wait, was there? Can we look this up? Oh, nope, that's the same thing. Yeah, okay, back. I'm gonna look up Dirt Poor. Dirt Poor was a mixtape by Dirty Davy, released in '96. There's a lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, Felix Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin in a list of attractive women. Ooh. The lyrics to one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s, and provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. When re-released in '99, much of the rhetoric was toned down to be less overtly profane, and the line referencing Reyna was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to the character from the X-Files. Hmm. Oops. Hmm. Root of All Evil is a 5 P's album, debut album. According to various sources, hang on, first, hang on. You said it was 77 that he was born. Oh God, he would have been one of these. Oh my God, Guy Hudson. I mean, it had to have been here, right? Because that's the only thing that would make sense. Is if one of these was 5 P's. According to various sources, the album is mostly material that 5 P's recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences and professional production. All Your Problems is the first and only single released. After dropping the single, hold up a second. Where the, oh, it's plugged in. Sorry, hold up. Where the frick? There it is. Got it. 5 P's announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. We're gonna search that. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. Stevie Whitlock's a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she has managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. What in the fucking shit-ass bitch tit? Pardon my French. Jesus. She became famous in the mid-80s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Unfortunately, none of this seems related to the root trees. Gotcha. Well, let's look him up again. He faded into obscurity, except for the fancy flavors debacle. During Root Tree Mania, he suddenly rose to prominence again after 5 P's appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy and his mother. Ugh. A few people that existed, adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. No shit. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse. They often got very out of hand. This fact has led to some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash, he was drunk or impaired in some way. Now, that was just his family member. But the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively that it was not foul play and that no party had taken place. ROOTTREES lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation to anyone who tries to disparage Guy or the company in public. Which magazine? News Time. There we go. Oh, there we go. Felix Fellows, aka 5Ps, famously appeared on the cover of News Time, kicking off ROOTTREE Mania. Then, a week later, Miracle of ROOTTREE appeared on the cover of the magazine in an article that focused heavily on 5Ps as well. A summary of both articles, as well as a close-up of the photo 5Ps it's holding on the cover of his issue, have been added to your evidence. Good. Look at the company picnic first. The rapper 5Ps appeared on the cover of News Time, holding this Polaroid of his mother Joanna when she was Zach Morton's secretary at a company picnic. ROOTTREE family picnic, yep. He claims that Joanna and Guy Hudson, also in the photo, were having an affair that led to his birth. What was his occupation? President the Third. Now, I don't know if it was his first affair. Oops. I mean, let's just assume for now that it's, oh God, we gotta do this. No. Well, it would be Fellows, right? Hold up. Joanna. Fellows. I'm guessing. Joanna. Fellowess. Secretary. Oh yeah, because there is the star. So that's the only... Felix. Could this rapper be the next Sam Madsen? 5Ps, aka Felix Fellows, appeared on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. The article concerns his insistence that his father was Guy Hudson. The story was dramatic and sensational, and initially dismissed as fake until a DNA test proved that he was related to Guy Hudson. 5Ps says that his mother Joanna was Zach Morton's secretary when he retired, and then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit, the first few weeks that he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4, after his father learned of the affair. Okay. Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. He grew up with her. Wait, so there was no mention of the father's name. Okay. But one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store. Yikes, when she worked the register. The next morning they found her dead from an overdose. So she was a cashier. Or retail, you know. She had stolen all of the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. As Felix went through her belongings, the only thing he had to remember her by were a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. But then he found it. A box hidden in the back of her closet. Inside were love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away, with the exception of the one photo he appears with. on the cover of News Time. He says it was the only one where they were dressed, the only one not from the affair itself. The picture is shown in full inside the magazine and was added to your evidence. The magazine also includes some additional history about 5P's career. Felix Fellows was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows. This was Riley Fellows. Riley and Joanna Fellows. But has never rapped without a moniker. He tried to find success by opening for other artists and even selling CDs on the street corners in Portland. He's only recently started going as 5Ps to harness the power of his lineage. When the writer did some research into the truth of those claims, we were able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Root Tree Company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid-70s. It also confirmed she died of a drug overdose and that Felix went into foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. They also reached... God, that means that guy had a lot of affairs. Because that is where he got 5Ps goes. This one must be, one of the origines, But yeah, guy really got around. 2, 3, 4, 5 affairs with children. Not affairs with children, but affairs that ended up with children. If that, whatever, you know what I mean. Who's in his glasses? Miracle Root Tree appeared on the cover of News Time shortly after 5Ps did. Okay, so do we add his photo up it? Miracle? No. So he's one of these. Which Miracle? Miracle Root Tree. Just Miracle Root Tree, not Miracle Jr., not Miracle the Third. Original Miracle Root Tree. That would put him in here. Just as a thought. What is he, preacher? He done did the dirty with someone. Alright. He vehemently denies that 5Ps was a root tree. This article was from before the DNA test that proved it. Miracle doesn't focus much on the details of 5P's accusations regarding his mother and Guy Hudson. Instead, he comes across as exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he feels are attacking his family. He starts with 6 pieces content. He says that although most of the book was based in fact, it left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Root Tree, and that Sam did the same before her. That Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. President? Right. Oh, right. That's why they did the whole no salary thing for the president job. Stupid. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. The fact he had to vote about it at all. Miracle also says that the story about his father, Elias, shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum. Stop sinning or be disowned. Oh, that's so stupid. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, and you call yourself a preacher. And a fucking miracle. Disgusting. But Elias was allowing him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was a kindness, especially considering that he and John continued to live together. Go fuck yourself. You got your money out of them. They worked and you made fucking billions. Miracle then pivots to the fallout from fixed pieces. Mm, mm. I'm so sorry. These muffins are so dry. I made them, but it wasn't my recipe. I should have brought my own recipe. Mm. I ain't never made muffins so dry. They taste great, but there's like no moisture to them. Ah. He recounts a deluge of claims to the clans and trust that his family have been subjected to. He doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward to the family devolves to arguments. They've had to hire an outside legal team to help. So far, every case has been demonstrably, laughably false. Oh yeah? I'm looking at quite a few claims that seem to be true. Huh? Huh? Know what I mean? And then they're even complicated. Adopted. Crazy. Anyways, oh, and they were married? Who was married to who that we... I'm sure I saw something. Someone was married to someone. I mean, yeah, Miracle's gotta be. You know what, we're just gonna put him in a few of these for a second. Is this the right Miracle? I mean, unless he ended up over here. Right, that's above. No. Okay. Because I'm 99% sure these ones are correct. Unless it is secretary. This is it counting like their most recent? Like it was before? Okay. He focuses on 5Ps who appeared on news time before him. He calls him a grifter and a delinquent and says he is using their name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says this is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. He cites 5Ps as lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and lastly, he turns to the future. Miracle states that those that wish to hear the true story can join him on the farewell tour this upcoming fall. The Miracle's Root Tree are planning on touring the country's churches one last time. And that now at age 71, Miracle is the oldest living Root Tree, while he plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour. This is your last chance to hear the truth from the man with the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families in your own hometown. The article mentions that Miracle's son, Miracle Jr., did not wish to comment, and has a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRue through the Rootttrees law firm. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Madsen's being born the year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. I mean, so he's got to be over here. Right? Retail? Okay, well, either way, it's getting late. And I'm getting really tired. I didn't expect to be streaming this long because I thought that the end was just going to be the end. But it's not. It's not the end. It isn't the end. It never is. It never is the end. Oh my god. So we going to just call this a night for tonight. We got the main quest story, the main game done. These Hey All lemonades are great. And it was a good time. So I will see you guys next time. Love y'all. And since this is going on YouTube later, make sure to slam that subscribe button, poke that like button, tickle those underbellies of all the reactions, leave a comment. I'm not good at this part. I hate doing this part. But, you know, trying to trying to get out there, but I mostly do this to make friends with similar interests. So get this out to people who have similar. God, that's at such an angle. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was. It's still at such an angle. I think that's less. Is that less or more of an angle? Anyways, I will see y'all next time. We'll play either the altars again or this and actually finish up the whole thing. Peace out, yo.